All right, Mission Impossible 2. I know this is kind of like the black sheep of the Mission Impossible franchise. And I've always been a defender of this film because I really liked the stylized action and whatnot when I was a kid. Um, on rewatching, I definitely understand the issues with this film. This film doesn't hold up well. And I think that the biggest reason is because this isn't a Mission Impossible movie. This is a John Woo movie. And John Woo has a very specific style. And when they hired him on, that's exactly what he was going to give you. He has a lot of signatures. He's got the double guns. He's got the slow-mo. He's got the doves. He's got, the stuff you see in all of his films. So these are all to be expected. The backflip, the unnecessary amounts of backflips and kicks that are impossible and actions, which this franchise, I mean, let's get honest, like, especially the first one, now the second, I'm going to look for how ridiculous it keeps getting progressively watching these in order. But, I mean, I would say the action in this is even more ridiculous than the last one, especially the fight sequences. Which isn't a terrible thing, but it's really just style over substance. It's really just bogging the film down with trying to show you cool action moves and scenes and whatnot. But anyway, so we get these guys who are, killing this dude on a plane in the beginning because he's infected himself with the Chimera virus, and they wreck the plane, which kills everyone on board, which I don't know. I just couldn't take a job where I'm just going to kill a couple hundred innocent civilians. I mean, I know they're the bad guys, but damn, man, how bad do you want this money? You gotta sleep at night, right? Can you sleep at night with that kind of shit on your conscience? I sure as fuck couldn't. Then we get this really cool opening sequence, which is, this really holds up well, is Tom Cruise out there and he is climbing this mountain. And I remember watching special features once upon a time where Cruise was actually doing some of that. He's a nutcase, man. That actor, as I said in my previous thing, I am a Cruise fan. I don't care about his personal life, but he brings it all in his movies. Let's not fucking try to pretend otherwise. The guy brings it. He has done insane shit for these Mission Impossible movies. The stuff he does, he's trying to kill himself every time, and he brings these incredible action sequences, these stunts, whatever. Yes, he could hire a stunt double, but he doesn't, and he still gets shit. People are still like, he's lame, but then they talk about these other fucking people who bring on, stunt performers and whatnot, and they get all the credit in the world. Which I'm not saying people who don't do their own stunts are like inferior to anyone who does, but I'm just saying there are things that Tom Cruise does. Not only is he a great actor, but he brings his shit every time and risks his life for films. I feel like I'm fucking just defending the guy, but this is the way I feel. So I haven't had a Tom Cruise movie to talk about to defend the guy. So here it is. I'm curious on this because my memory of it is that he has short hair in the first one, long hair in this one, short hair in the next one, long hair in the next one, short, long. Like, is that a pattern I'm going to be looking for? Because I know he has short in the next one, and I know he has short in the beginning, or the first one, and his long hair, and I think the fourth one he has long hair. We'll see. We've got some new familiar faces here. We got a very young Thandie Newton here. God, she's beautiful in this movie. Holy shit. Oh my God. She's like 27, I think, and he's 37. She is stunning. And we get like this really cool opening, like action flirting. There's like an action sequences going on with them like kind of flirting back and forth. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Desperado. With Antonio Banderas and Selma Hayek when they're like going back and forth and flirting while there's action sequences going on. That's cool. I like that. And we get Anthony Hopkins in here, which he's not really used all that much, and I don't think he makes another appearance in this franchise, which is a shame because, I mean, you can never have enough Anthony Hopkins. We get Brendan Gleeson here. He's yet again another character that isn't really on screen all that much, which is a shame because the dude who they have playing the villain here, his name's escaping me at the moment. It's like Doug Ray Scott. There it is. I thought he was a really generic, boring villain. And I think you had Anthony Hopkins and you had Brendan Gleeson in this movie. Two incredible actors that could have been fantastic antagonists. Now, they couldn't have physically fought him, but shit, they could have had like a Roadhouse thing going on where it's more of his goons that are fighting him and more of like a brain game. Although fucking Brad Wesley does give Dalton a good fight at the end, which I've always found to be so stupid. No fucking way Brad Wesley is kicking Dalton's ass. It's so dumb. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Roadhouse, but we should be, right? Fuck. Any chance to talk about Roadhouse? All right, so I like that Brendel gets to see his death in the paper. That would be nuts to see. Like, if dude dies and you're reading it, you're like, what the fuck? Oh my god! And then like gas starts coming in. Oh my god, my brain would fucking freak out. So they put such emphasis on like they put it in the left pocket, right? They put it in the left pocket, and she's like, got it, left pocket, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be coming up again. Like, you know, this is gonna get flipped. I hate when things are heavy-handed like that because to film viewers like me who've seen it a million fucking times, a million different films, we can just read those telltale signs of like, that's going to become something. They're going to get caught because of that thing right there. Somehow it's the guy or something's going to be like right pocket or whatever. And it does. And it's so obvious that it's happening. And you're like, don't put so much overemphasis on it. But it's kind of like, it's this little like crux almost. It's like, for, I don't want to say dumber audiences, but for more simple audiences that don't watch a lot of film, like they have to have this thing beaten over their head so that they get in the movie later when he's like, get it out of my right pocket. And it's like, right, oh my god, they said left 6 times. You know, that's how people, that's a perfect reaction. I've had like tons of people in the theater with me and they're like, ah. Okay, that's not true. Or is it? I don't even know where I'm at. All right. I'm just reading this same thing over and over. I put it way too many times. The mask thing in this, because we get the mask. I didn't even mention that in my last review, the whole mask thing. Because the mask thing in the first one really isn't overused. They only use it like twice, I want to say, and it's really for good purposes. And not that the mask use in this isn't for a good reason, but it's just overused and a little convenient. Although I do like the mask flip there at the end with the main thug bodyguard guy. We'll get to that though, because I have one other thing to say about that before we get to it. And good thing that all these people that are taking masks from one another are the exact same height and the exact same weight. Because, yeah, that's convenient as fuck. Because he couldn't imitate me. Little 5'9" Tom Cruise definitely wouldn't look like my 6'3" ass for sure. Plus, I probably have like 30 or 40 pounds on the guy. So let's see him put on a mask and pretend to be me. He's such a good actor. He might be able to pull it off. You never know. And... oh man, the only good scene for the villain here, Doug Ray Scott's character, I don't know what the fuck his name is, but is when he dresses like Ethan, or he puts Ethan's mask on and he goes and he talks to Thandi and she's like, okay, Ethan, like she's clearly in love with him, and then like he's like, go back in the house and let's play this on and whatever, and she's like, okay, and she like runs back in the house and he like pulls the mask off and you can see he's like devastated. And I thought that was actually like good emotion there, and it was good character development because it furthered along his anger and his motives. Now the drop into the building through the atrium, whatever, I know that's kind of trying to one up the scene, the iconic scene from the first one. I thought it failed miserably. It's so uneventful. It's just he drops down, boom, he flips around, and then he cuts the wire, and that's it. 2 seconds. It's really lame. I mean, to be completely honest. In comparison, like I feel like if that was in the first movie and then the other one was in the second movie, that would have been like a great one-up. But because they're reversed, this was very uneventful. I was just like, that was it? Like, that didn't seem that difficult. I mean, I get it. It's hard as fuck. I'm not saying it isn't. But in comparison to the first one, no way. Not even close. It's just too quick. It lasts for like fucking 2 seconds, man. I'm all about lasting a long time. Yep, I went there. Yeah, where are we? A lot of slow motion, and it's overused, of course, but it's John Woo. As I said, if I was watching a John Woo movie, if Chow Yun Fat, or however he says his name now, It's like Yun Fat Chow or something. It was Chow Yun Fat when I was a kid. But if he was in it, it was like an Asian thing, and it was the Killers or the Replacements or whatever. I don't think he did the Replacements, but he did Killers and he did whatever. Doesn't matter. Hard Boiled. There we go. I think that it would have fit, but because it's a Mission Impossible movie, it's so tonally different from the first one, the third one, the fourth one. Like, it just doesn't fit. It's so drastically different. And then he jumps out the window because, oh man, there's a really good scene in this as well where Thandie, like, he goes to destroy all the Chimera, and she is forced to go over and grab it. And of course, like, once he has it, he's gonna kill Ethan, but she takes the risk and shoots the shit into herself to save him and potentially her as well, but she's more thinking of him in that moment. And that's a great scene because I like their dramatic scenes together, like that scene where he's like, would it make you feel better to know that that I didn't want you to do it? And she's like, well, yeah, we'll feel better. I don't know why that line's always stuck out. I remember when I watched it originally when it came out, that one really got me. And it was one of the first times I ever was like, I really like Tom Cruise. Fuck everybody. I don't know if everyone hated him back then, but probably. But I did like that. I liked their moment there. There's a lot of yelling, although, hey man, he just shot a gun a bunch of times, so he might be deaf, and there are a lot of things going on, but they're always like yelling at each other. Their relationship isn't going to last long unless they can start to use their inside voices. And then, let's see. Oh, so then he blows up a hole in the wall, and he jumps out of the fucking building, and for no reason at all, like as he's flying down, he could have just pulled the chute, but it's a John Woo movie, it's an action movie, whatever. He has to do a flip and then pull it. For no reason at all, except for just to look cool and stylish. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, what do you need to flip around for? Like, that was so completely pointless, especially as the ground's coming up faster and faster. He probably pulled the chute way too late. He dropped all the way down that building, and then he's still high enough to parachute and fall for a while and flip. How tall is that building? Okay, I want a measurement. I'm going to resist another sex joke right there. Okay, I'm going to resist it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's a lot of unnecessary flips in this movie. Let's just get that shit right. So their plan is to get the virus, then release it into the population, and then have a monopoly on the antidote, and sell it, and then buy up all the stock options so that they can make billions of dollars and take 51% ownership over the company as it goes public and all that. Oh my God, or not public, they're already public if they're doing shares. Come on, Jason. But you know what I mean. Once they become like a conglomerate, like that would do for them. So that's fucking evil. Not only, like, that just shows you the mindset of these people. Like, they crash a fucking plane and then they're like, fuck it, we'll just kill half the world because we got 20 hours before people are screwed. Like, how fast can they get those antidotes out? Can they get it to 8 million people in 20 hours? I feel like that would be a lot of people trying to inject people, and for the needles to be all clean, and come on, 20 hours to inject 8 million people, as they said, and then they said their plan was to like possibly get the whole world infected. There'd be a lot of people dead. A lot of people dead. As I said, we got the white doves here. We've got, so Cruise, this is what I was going to say earlier. So Cruise puts the mask on the other guy, tapes his mouth, whatever, and then he convinces him that Ethan Hunt has his jaw broken, which then he shoots him, and you can see that Tom Cruise is standing behind, or Ethan Hunt's standing behind him, and he's wearing the mask of the thug, and he's getting off on this. Like, he's genuinely enjoying that this guy is shooting his own friend. Like, he tortures him first. He shoots him in the leg, and Ethan's like, yeah. And then he shoots him to death, and Ethan's sitting there like, he fell for this shit, and fuck that guy, and I'm glad he's dead. That's some cold-ass shit. I mean, I'm into it, but that's some cold-ass shit for a PG-13 action hero movie. Like, usually American films, they frown on that kind of stuff. I mean, look at freaking Batman Returns. How much shit Tim Burton got for that, for killing people. He stuck to the dynamite to the guy and pushed him in the freaking sewer or whatever, and he blew up. Parents protested the shit out of this. We got the main freaking protagonist of this movie, and he's sitting there and he's laughing as this dude shoots his own dude to death while torturing him. That's some grim ass shit, and I dig it. Because I'm fucked in the head. And let's see here. So then we get this scene, which of course is Mission Impossible, and there's so many stupid scenes in the movie that are like unbelievable. But he's racing at this car, and Ving Rhames is up there in the helicopter, and he shoots at the freaking car and blows it up just as Ethan goes under it as it blows up in the air. So not only did he have to bank on the fact that he was going to shoot, which he didn't even know he had a he was even aiming for anything. Ethan just, I don't know, he had no room to move. There was a bridge. He was going right at the guy. Maybe he was just going to go up over his head. It's Ethan Hunt. He can do anything. He can make the fucking bike fly for all I know. But he has to bank on him hitting it and it lifting him up in the air and the flames not engulfing him as he goes through it. Who cares? And then he slides in and he does this wheelie. And I remember this being that action sequence that blew my mind at the time because it was so insane. Was that he does this wheelie, like this front wheelie, and he turns around with one arm and he shoots the gas tank as it's going. You want to talk about impossible. And then they're racing at each other and they jump in the air and they collide like Fast and the Furious 17 or whatever. And they like fall down to the ground and hit and they just bounce and then go dead or broken everything in fucking their bodies. Whatever. I'm not sure how she got free, to be honest. I might have missed that. Can someone tell me? I don't know how she got free. She's just off gonna go kill herself. Maybe he just was like, she's infected, fuck her. I'm not giving her the antidote. She's just gonna go die a terrible death on her own. You would think he'd just shoot her or something once he had her blood. I don't know. But yeah, he's got it. So I don't know. If all they needed was her blood, couldn't they have just shot her like right there on the spot and then just collected some of her blood? Or is that not how it works? It has to come from a living body, or I don't know, whatever. A lot of motorcycle action in this before that. Ethan's fucking motorcycle gets hit in the back and it like bumps him and he spins around and he shoots him, of course. But it reminded me of Terminator 2 when John's running from the T-1000 and he bumps the back of the freaking motorcycle, and it's like, there's no way you could keep the bike upright. No fucking way in hell. It always makes me laugh. God, my nose is fucking itchy from all that cocaine I'm doing. Oh, Jesus Christ. And so, yeah, they get into this big fight on the thing. And another thing that's funny here, because, of course, he beats the guy. And then, like, they're racing. He's, like, checking his clock. They act like this virus is, like, to the minute. Like, you have 20 hours on the dot. It reminds me of Escape from New York, when Snake's like rushing and he has like 2 seconds before the capsule dissolves, just enough to burst. Really? Like on the second? I'm sorry, but bullshit. No way you can make a capsule that would fucking break at exactly like 10 hours later or whatever. No fucking way. And then same thing with this virus. Once it's past 20 hours on the dot, like 11:59:59, you're okay, but 12:00:00, if you inject it too late, sorry, virus is killing her. Don't be stupid. And then the villain here, Doug Ray Scott's guy, fuck his name is, Ving Rhames comes out and he's gonna grab the antidote, and he's like, oh. And the guy's like, you should have killed me, Ethan. It's very like Die Hard, where it's like, next time you have a guy in your sights, like, kill him, buddy, or whatever. And it's like, thanks for the tip, boom, boom, boom. It's like that. It's like, why do you even say anything? But Ethan has enough time to throw the freaking antidote, kick a fucking gun in the air, catch it, turn around, and shoot the guy before this guy who has his finger on the trigger, who's pointing it right at him, has any chance to fire. Ethan's fast. Ooh, he's quick. I've tried that gun thing in the sand before many times. After I watched this movie, I put some stuff in the sand. I tried to kick it up to myself and grab it. I couldn't even grab the fucking thing. Like, I think I did twice, but I did, like, out of like 1,000 tries. But I never could like kick it and grab it. Tried it on the cops once and didn't go so well. So he destroys the virus, which is the good thing to do here. And I'm curious to see if Thandi is mentioned in the next movie, because I want to say he's like married to some other chick, some white chick, an actress. I know her name, but it's escaping my mind. But I'm looking forward to seeing if she's even mentioned at all. I'm guessing she's just a fling. This is going to be like a Bond thing where at the end of every movie he gets together with some chick and the next movie he's just on to the next thing. And it's like the other film didn't happen at all, except for in Casino Royale to Quantum of Solace, which, my God, if I ever do the Bond movies, you guys can see how much I actually like Quantum of Solace, and you can all go fuck yourself. All right.